smoothly and get lots and lots of practice. But what I am going to do today is I'm going to bring you the experience of someone who is very new and only starting to post videos. So these are these are still very choppy. This is like a month after doing my first video, and I've done 10 so far. And I am starting from scratch, literally from scratch. Hello, my name is Denise, and welcome to my channel. And my channel is called Do It Yourself Wellness. And before starting my channel, I knew what I wanted to focus on. I'm passionate about wellness. I have tons of experience and lots of education in that area. So the question of what am I going to do with my channel? What is my channel all about? That was not an issue for me. That wasn't a question. And a lot of people have that question when they start YouTubing. But I am lucky that I didn't have to do that. You know, I knew what it was all about. So I started posting videos on YouTube last month, and I knew it was going to be a rough road and that it was going to be really choppy. And nothing like the polished look that we see on the popular channels, because they just have it rolling off, right? You know, it's just so perfect. They look perfect and they articulate everything just well, you know, and you know, like that was a bit of a concern. I was worried about that because the people were all very perfect when I was looking at it. And well, I am not perfect, so can I really be a YouTuber? Okay, so I started knowing that if I didn't just get started, flaws and all, I wouldn't have this happening. So I knew that I needed to just jump into it and record this and cringe when I go back and look at everything and see all the flaws. But I knew I had to get it started and start learning how to do the editing. Um, and a little bit at a time, you know, I'm still learning, very much still learning. And I'm still improving and, you know, proving more, hopefully in the future on my graphics, on my appearance, you know, like what's my style, what is my brand, and other things like that. But I know that I can work on that as I go along. And so this is me progressing through, and I want to just share that with you. If you're worried about the cost of getting started and getting set up, you can do this very cheap. I mean, I am really doing this cheap. The only thing I bought so far for this was this little USB stick, and I'm recording in the library in a meeting room, and that I sign out. You know, that's not very convenient, but this is the only place that I can actually go that's quiet. And I do my editing at a different library that has the editing software, and they have sometimes people who can help you with certain things there. So and I'm using my own laptop, and I'm doing these on Zoom. So if you're worried that it's going to cost a lot to get started, no, that is not a barrier. Maybe you don't have the resources that I have, but you probably have, you know, just check around and see what you have for resources. But I know that eventually I'm going to have to invest in some stuff. But right now, I'm just doing it the cheapest way that I can. And so, and this works, you know, this is a learning process for me. And like I said, I'm very new here. And these are some of my stats. So I'm going to share that with you. So far, only 108 views after a month, but I took a couple months off for Christmas. And 5 hours of watch time, and I'm noticing that people aren't sticking around for my videos very long. And I understand why. And that's easy to fix, or it's not that, it's something I can work on. And yeah, I'll improve. This will improve, you know, and it has been improving. And so, you know, like I'm not discouraged by that. And you can compare different time frames too. So for this is for the past 28 days. For the last one, that was for basically the last 90 days, but that was since before I started. So it's like the whole thing. This was this one's for the past 28 days. So I get 80 views and almost 4.5 hours of watch time. And so yeah, the most of my activity has been just in the past week, which is good because it means that it's improving. So things are getting better, but I've got a long ways to go. So anyway, the purpose of this video is to tell you some of the things that I wouldn't have known if I had waited until things were polished and ready to go, and thinking that, yes, this is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it's supposed to be like, because those two things are not the same. So, number one, don't wait until it is perfect. And I already said that. Don't procrastinate. Just go out and do it and look and see what you can improve on. You're going to learn way more that way than you will trying to figure out what makes it perfect and what makes it the best that I can be. You can work on being the best you can be as you go along. Just get it out there. And what's the worst that can happen? You worry. I was worried too. It's like, oh, should I post this? I know it's going to be awful, but don't worry about that. Don't. And yeah, so what is the worst that can happen? So you get no views. And that happens all the time. You don't see that in the thumbnails that you click on. You see like, oh, 150,000 views on a lot of these, but no, there's a lot of them that don't have views. And if you do a Google search and like people who are trying to start their YouTube channel and they've got lots of videos out there and they have absolutely no views. So yes, that does happen, and it's not the end of the world. But the longer you procrastinate, the longer it's going to take, and the more likely it is that you're just going to can't. I'm just saying, I'm going to do that. So number two, be aware of where you are in the camera, how you look on the camera. I didn't know this until I started watching my videos, and my head was so close. I was like this, and I didn't know that. And so, now I'm sitting back quite a bit, and it's not so overwhelming if somebody's watching this on their TV. They're going to get a blow up on my face and see every like line and wrinkle and everything. And so I'm making sure I'm sitting back. And I wouldn't have known that before. What I was doing, what I do is I teach classes online with a PowerPoint. So I have a little square, at the top right-hand corner. That's where my face is. And it's okay for that. But it's not okay for this. See, I would not have known that if I had just tried to make everything perfect, made a whole bunch of videos with my face really close, and then have to do them all over again. So now I have a better idea, and I saw a few videos of like how are you supposed to sit and where are you supposed to be. So that was good. And so yeah, and there is a picture of me. Here. This is what I looked like, in one of my older videos. Yeah, pretty close to the camera, like I'm about to fall out of the screen, right? Okay, so number three, work on the thumbnail. Okay, if you are older like me, this is what a thumbnail is. Right? And I realize that yeah, that's not what they're talking about. But when on YouTube they said upload your thumbnail, it's like, well, what thumbnail are you talking about? And so I didn't have a thumbnail. I thought, okay, I'm just going to ignore it. I'll let them figure it out. And so they uploaded something that I'm in the middle of a word, with my eyes shut, and I'm like this. And yeah, it wasn't very flattering, and I didn't really want to post it, but I did. And I'm glad I did, because I can see the impressions that I get. Now, your impressions are how many eyes get to see the thumbnail. It's not how many views. It's got nothing to do with clicking on them. It's just, when you're doing a scroll down on the YouTube, you see these these thumbnails, that's how many pairs of eyes saw mine. And before I made a thumbnail like this one, my impressions were about between 40 and 60. And then I did a little experiment where I took one of my old videos, a couple of my old videos, and just did nothing but change the thumbnail and reposted it and said, this is a repost, nothing's changed, so that I don't get in trouble. I didn't know what the rules were. And it went from like 50 some impressions, and the second one got over 1,000 impressions. So it does make a big difference. And I'm still going to work on my thumbnail. I think I can do more to it as far as making it look better. I might even change it, but it's part of your brand. So, think about that thumbnail. It's really important. Okay, so number 4, don't ramble. And I'm probably doing that now. And that's something I have to work on. That worked really well when I was teaching classes and I was interacting with people. But this is not the same kind of thing. And it's not the same kind of audience. If class, people are coming there to these classes for a specific reason, and they want all those little details and they want the stories and everything. But on YouTube, I guess not. They want you just right to the point, and I'm going to be trying to do that the best I can. And I don't know if I'm doing that in this video, but I realize that I'm probably rambling a little bit. So don't ramble. Number 5, kind of related to that, aim for 10 to 15 minutes on an information video. I found that that's probably good, maybe even less than that might be good. And just get things across as clearly and concisely as you possibly can. And make it as short as possible. Now, a video that's 20 minutes, 25 minutes, people are probably not going to watch the whole thing unless it's a topic that's very specific. But this is wellness, nutrition, and things. So some of them are going to be longer than that. But I'm going to try to make the concise, break it down so that one video doesn't have to be any more than 15 minutes, because I find that it's hard to keep people's attention beyond that. Okay, so those are the 5 things that I would not have known if I hadn't just jumped into it, embarrassed myself, probably made myself like, okay, yeah, I know these videos are bad, but I'm going to learn from it. And I hope you are encouraged by that, especially if you are sitting there going, I can't do this because I just can't compete. Just start, it's not going to hurt. Okay, and if you have a passion that you want to share with the world, then it's probably worth you doing this, all right? And that's all I have to say. So if you like this, please let me know by liking the video with the thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you for watching.